SBA Publications.
Hello students, how are you all? I hope that you are doing fine and having fun at your homes. Today I am here with our chapter number 6 and the name of our chapter is Comparison of Adjectives. So in the last chapter we studied about what are adjectives. Now we are going to compare them. So let us see how to do that. Look at the picture and read the paragraph given below. The cat is a small animal. So, here we have the picture of a cat and the sentence says that the cat is a small animal. Now, in this picture we have a rat. The rat is smaller than the cat. So, the rat is even more small. So, it is smaller than the cat. And in this picture we have an ant, which is the ant is the smallest of all these three. So, when you compare all these animals, we find that the ant is the smallest of all. So, here we have compared the size of these three creatures. Sometimes we have to compare two or more persons or things, and we use different forms of adjectives to compare them. So, sometimes we have to compare two or more nouns. For example, in your class, the teachers or you people may compare yourselves on the basis of your height, who is taller, who is shorter, or who is more intelligent and who is less intelligent, right? So, for this comparison, we have to use different kinds of or different forms of adjectives. So, let us read more about these. The forms of adjectives we use, the forms that we use are called degrees of comparison. We call them degrees of comparison. So, how many degrees are there of comparison? There are 3 degrees of comparison. How do we compare? We use these 3 degrees. What are these? Positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Okay, let us read about them. When there is no comparison, we use simple form as small. So, when we are not comparing, we use this simple form. For example, like we used with the cat. The cat is a small animal. Why? Because we are not comparing it to any other animal or any other thing. Okay. Next one is comparative, which is when two things are compared, we use this form as smaller. So, when we are comparing two things, then we use this degree, comparative degree. Okay. Superlative degree is when we compare more than two things, we use this form as the smallest. So, when we are comparing more things, we will use this form. Let us see some degrees. Here are some examples: big, bigger, biggest. So, when you're finding out of more people, more than two people, you will use this degree. Okay. Costly, costlier, costliest. Happy, happier, happiest. Easy, easier, easiest. Wise, wiser, wisest. Bad, worse, worst. So, you can see in this one, we have not used the same word. We did not make it bad, badder, baddest. We have used different words. So, there are some things, some words which do not have the same word in the next degree. For example, this bad, worse, worst. Good, better, best. Heavy, heavier, heaviest. Nice, nicer, nicest. Ugly, uglier, ugliest. Pretty, prettier, prettiest. Fine, finer, finest. Little, less, least. Now here we are not talking about the height, we are talking about the quantity. Little, less, least. Much, more, most. Old, older, oldest. So, these are some examples. The above table shows that we add R or ER to the adjectives to make its comparative degree. So when we are converting a word into its comparative degree, we will either add R or ER to its ending. And when we are changing it to superlative, we will add an ST or EST to the end of the adjective to make it superlative degree. So that's it. Now you have to do this exercise on the basis of the chapter that we have read, and now we will see some other points, that are point number 3. If an adjective ends in Y, we remove the Y and add IER. Okay, so if an adjective ends with Y, we will add an IER or IEST to the ending to make its comparative and superlative degree. Now, for example, easy, easier, easiest. So we have taken off the Y and we have put here an I. After that, we have put ER and EST. Okay, pretty, prettier, prettiest. The same way, this one is also being done. Now, if the combination of an adjective is consonant plus vowel plus consonant, the last letter is doubled. Consonant, vowel, consonant. So, such words are called CVC words. Okay? So, if this happens, we will put the last word once again before putting the ER or EST. So, just like this, big becomes bigger and G is repeated. Okay? Biggest, the same way. Thin, thinner, thinnest. Fat, fatter, fattest. Hot, hotter, hottest. Here you can see these words are consonant, vowel, consonant. CVC words. So the last word will be doubled. Okay. Now you have to do this exercise on the basis of what I have just explained to you guys. And let's see what we have next. We put more and most before some adjectives. So before some adjectives, we put more and most. For example, let's see. So before some adjectives which have 2 or more syllables. So the adjectives that have 2 or more syllables, that means that that is a larger word. So without changing it, without converting it and using the words ER or EST, we use more and most before them. More for the comparative degree and most for the superlative. For example, beautiful. So this is a longer word, it has more syllables. So we will use more beautiful, most beautiful. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Useful, more useful, most useful. So this is how we convert these longer words that has more syllables. Some adjectives have different comparative and superlative degrees. So there are some words that have different degrees. For example, bad, worse, worst. Far, farther or further, or farthest or furthest. Okay. Good, better, best. Little, less and least. Much, more, most. Okay. Now you have to do this exercise. In this one you have to fill in the blanks with suitable adjectives from the box. Okay. So here are the last exercises of the chapter. So this chapter has a lot of exercises. That means this chapter is going to be fun for you guys to practice. So you have to practice all the exercises on the basis of the explanation. And I am pretty sure that you are going to enjoy these exercises. I will come back soon with another chapter. Till then, keep on learning. Bye-bye.